Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a quick look here at Pepe, seeing what's going on. I'm just going to touch on a few key factors, kind of make it really quick and brief if possible. Just kind of get you up to date without too much, of course, because I do get into detail, sometimes a little more than usual. A quick heads up, we are partnered recently here with BingX, and that's actually really awesome to be able to have this affiliation because it does help our users in Canada, Europe, Oceania, United States, and UK. You get a free $100 bonus for registering, and just generally speaking, we're going to have trading competitions with them. It's a good alternative for our members who are affected by the KYC for Bybit. So just heads up, that is an option now. Link down below, you'll be eligible for that free 100. There's no deposit required. You get that effectively in your account within 24 to 48 hours. So what we want to look at here with Pepe is a couple of things. First of all, we're still below the resistance range. We've known that for some time. We're now, though, however, near the bottom end of the support zone. So you see this little green box here, basically, that's the support zone that we're in. We're testing it almost a second time here today. So again, the more often you test the support level, the more likely it is to break. But once again, it's only the second test. So this could very well be something along the lines of a double type of bottom. We can see that in smaller time frames. Or just generally speaking, we're going to be range bound for some time in between 145 upwards of about 160 is a round number. I think it was 163 actually. So just keep in mind that's a resistance zone or support zone, however you want to look at it. We're just right in that little range, and we're currently range bound. This happens a lot with coins before large breakouts. Okay, so keep in mind, large breakouts can occur. Bollinger Bands are pretty far out right now, but as you look in smaller time frames with the Bollinger Bands, you can kind of tell that they're starting to compress. And as we do that, potential for breakout is high. Okay, so keep a look out here. This is something that's important to recognize. When a money flow index gets below 30 on the RSI, or just below 30 in general, it's one of those things that's important to recognize that the price action could very well and should very well bounce up from there. Okay, because the money can only flow out for so long. At least with Bitcoin, this is a real, an actual phenomenon. In fact, that's why we feel comfortable taking a long position right now as a community, because the money flow index is maxed out, for lack of better terms. So it makes sense for more money to come into the market, and as a result, more money equals more volume, higher price. Right? So we could disseminate that that is the case here right now with Pepe, but again, it's not a guarantee. Okay? The good news is we're still above 50 on the RSI, so the money flow index can start to increase, and the RSI kind of stay or bounce off that level. That would make sense. Okay, so it's just unusual to have the RSI come bounce off of 50 without the money flow index increasing though. So we do need to see that. All right, so that's kind of some positive stuff there. We can also see we're still below the 20-day SMA. So in all reality, we have fairly neutral data here on the daily. The 4-hour is where things kind of get a little interesting. We can see here yesterday when I covered this, there's a strong rejection zone here right at about 162, and the price action is kind of just holding below that level. Okay, so generally speaking, we're in a position right now where we could see a potential double bottom forming. We'll pay attention to that pattern and see, but we're below 50 on the RSI, and we're squeezing really tight on the MACD, which is similar again to Bollinger Bands, in which the price action gets really tight. Okay, so that being said, when you're range bound like this for so long, a breakout is inevitable. Okay, so I doubt we're going to just go straight sideways for a long time. We're probably going to be going sideways until we retest this level of 163 and break up, or essentially the 146 and break down. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at on the 4-hour. We can also extract that we are below both moving averages, and that is running concurrent with this descending trend that we're seeing here. Okay. So all in all, not the greatest. In fact, we can kind of update this trend line here to kind of reflect the current price action and kind of just see here that we are effectively trending lower with lower highs and lower lows still. Until we break that trend, there's really no reason to expect it to turn around. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of roughly where we're at there. When it comes to the hourly, let's go ahead and quickly note here we're probably below the clouds even still. This is a very common characteristic. This would be the sign that I want to look for in order to take a long position for this coin. So hypothetically, the price keeps going sideways and up a little bit. And then at that point, we can potentially extract that the price will bounce off that level and continue higher. Between now and then, I wouldn't say that we are likely to just continue to break upwards just because we start establishing higher highs and higher lows. I'd love to be above the cloud concurrently. So to me, I'm going to probably set an alert for the Ichimoku cloud once the price breaks above that. I want to take a look at it again here soon and see. Okay, so that's where we're at there on the cloud. And we can also see here as well. Let's go ahead and double check PD sequential. We can see we're at a 9 here previously. Kind of wicked up and down a little bit, got a little bit of a reset. So in all reality, we are overextending ourselves to the downside a few times. But the fact that we're keep establishing lower highs and lower lows, it's just not a great sign. So ultimately, I think at this point here, Pepe, It can increase and will increase if we continue to build a volume base here at this level and start to average it out. And if we take a look at the volume profile, we can see that there's a tremendous amount of volume between the range where it's at right now and above. That does typically work as a resistance when you see that much volume above the price action. So to me at this point, I don't think we're in terrible shape, but we're not in great shape either. Okay? So I do think that a moon potential is, of course, still on the horizon. It's just going to take a breakout and a closure above that 163, in my opinion, before we see any significant continuation. That's really what we're looking at there. I hope this made sense for you and that described it correctly. Again, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, really hope you just learned something here today. And if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. Got some really awesome traders in here and just some really, really cool stuff. Sent out a bunch of signals this morning. We took some gallop profits, almost 94%. Couple days back. So yeah, just really fun, cool little stuff that we can all kind of learn and grow and become better traders together. So awesome stuff. Check that out in your own time. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care.